rest, relax, and aware using the body which is sitting. It is not necessary sitting on the floor. You can sit on the chair. Maybe when you go back to your home, you're comfortable sitting in the sofa. Also, okay. As long as we are aware, relaxed, using the body as a tools to develop this quality. So from the previous session, we start to learn how to relaxing, acceptance, surrender to whatever the body feel at the moment, rather than come from the idea, I should make my body like this, or I should feel like this, but it comes from what it feels now. The body sitting, feel straight but not tense. The hand could be touching each other or could be resting on your knees. Whatever feels comfortable for you. You don't have to force your mind to feel your body. You can come from the head first, or you can come through the feet, feel your toes, or feel your fingers, any reference point of the body which you feel comfortable. By feeling the body, we are at the present now. And slowly maybe we feel there is sensation when the breath comes in by itself. When the breath comes out by itself, we are in the position of complete acceptance what the breath offers at the moment. Developing the feeling of kind and gentleness towards our body, towards our breath. Just like when we approach our dear friends with the feeling of loving and friendliness, we approach the body, we approach the breath in the same fashion. Our dear friend arrive. Our dear friend leave. And we do this for the next 40 minutes. Finish the torturing session for the whole days. If you notice, actually, there is this certain degrees of you feel being tortured or feeling of unpleasant when you start to do this kind of things. If you notice why it's like that, because we always have the tendency to follow what we want. what we think we like, then we do. Nobody kind of, oh, I don't like this, then I do it voluntarily, most of the time. So when we start to make a framework, okay, for 1 hour I will not move, just as simple as that. What will happen then after that? After 5 minutes, there is this wanting to move, wanting to scratch, wanting of something, feeling of discomfort, then we start to follow it. Because that is the pattern the whole days, the pattern of whole lives. We just keep following what we like. So, for example, you take people in the street random, take as a random, in the market, in the supermarket or in the mall, bring it here and tell them to take 8 precepts and do like this. You cannot move for 1 hour. You just walk for an hour, do nothing. You cannot check your phones. It will be torture for them. What is that feeling torture? That wanting, because you start to not follow it. But what happened with that, we're not forcing it. We wanted to learn and see. This is the pulling of wanting. Not just because, oh, I don't move, I force myself, then it's from external, but rather to look within. There is wanting, okay, this is what it feels. But okay, I don't follow it because they say for 1 hour I will not move. If I move and my friend will look at me and they will think, oh, I am just beginner because always moving. So there's always tendency, and you will feel not comfortable. But question that feeling, where did that come from? Why it come from? Why it feel not comfortable? Because that wanting we don't fulfill. But then there's a time we learn, oh, this is why, this wanting, pulling, always wanting something. So we intentionally make a frame, okay, 5 precepts. Before, whenever I wanted to, mosquito coming, whatever, I just kill, for example. Or if you are 8 precepts, whatever, whenever you want to eat, you eat. That one thing, you follow. But then whenever you follow it, you didn't see it because you are flowing with them. So when we stop, then we start to realize, oh, there is this wanting of eating, wanting of something, wanting of moving. It's not that we are condemning the wanting. That is not the instruction in the Four Noble Truths. I should not have wanting, not like that. Or wanting is bad, not like that. The instruction is there is wanting. We need to notice that first. And that is what we've been doing the whole days. What is it that we develop? Patience. Because then I don't do anything, I don't follow it. That's why they said, the Buddha said, patience is the supreme extinguisher of defilements. Kanti paramang tapotitikam. But then we want concentration, we want something flashy. They say, oh, like this, bliss upon bliss, oh, I want it. But patience, the moment there is pulling of wanting and you see it and you don't do it, that patience, that kanti, it becomes fire to burn your defilements because you start to learn it's possible not to follow it. So what happened? We are not become the slave anymore. We are free at that particular moment, free from wanting because I don't follow it. So and if we see, we just sitting actually. What is the difficulties of sitting? Difficulties may be like, okay, building the road, carrying bricks on the top of your head. There's nothing actually like that. We're just sitting, comfortable in the chair. But what is that? Why we don't accept it? There is always something else I want to do. You just Sitting actually. If you look at it, it's just sitting, doing nothing. Walking, just walking. What is difficult of walking? Difficult will be, for example, okay, you walk and you carry like backpack 50 kilo. Then that's difficult, physically, right? But then we start to notice it's not just physical. Something within us actually don't want it. Boring, right? So boring, just left, right, left, right. Why is like that? Nothing excited. Sitting, the breath come in, the breath come out. It's quite boring. It's quite ordinary. Or for example, you just sit. Did you hear the aircon, the sound of the aircon? If you just pay attention on it and comfortable with it, accept it, it becomes your object of meditation. It's so ordinary, but we always looking for something flashy. And that's also the problem when we start to do breath meditation. We heard that people will experience bliss upon bliss. Then we want something special from it. Then that's become the problem. The Four Noble Truths, remember, that will be our guidelines, including when we do formal practice. But usually we forget that one. We wanted something flashy and extraordinary. Nobody wanted just ordinary stuff. If you have a two phone, one is iPhone, the latest one, and the other one, I don't know, ordinary something, Oppo or Xiaomi or something like that. Then you choose, okay, which one you choose? Free, which one you will choose? Mostly just the latest iPhone, right? It's common sense. We wanting something the best. But this tendency always wanted more and more and more, something more again and again. This is the problem. Can we just contented with one breath in and one breath out? Appreciate it. Be grateful that there is still sensation of breath come in. There is sensation of breath come out. If you cannot feel it, then you maybe actually need to go to hospital. When we get COVID, for example, you cannot feel your breath. Or when your breath come in, but don't come out, what happened? Or the breath come out and not come in. So just the sense of I accept it, I'm glad with it. Rather than later on if I experience something special, then I'm glad. It's quite difficult. Just be content now. Something ordinary, try to be content with it. Then if we can be content with something ordinary, then easy to be happy. So this is what we do, just walking. What is special of left, right, left, right? When the left leg move, the right leg move, what is special on it? In the most common understanding, completely normal, ordinary. But in that ordinariness, when we really accept it, then it's become magic. But then we, oh, I want magic. Just something ordinary actually. When you eat, when you walk, the acceptance, the magic happens when inside we completely accept it. Then everything like in heaven, for example, everything is nice. So that's what we do the last several hours. We're torturing our defilements not to follow it. So don't blame me. You can blame the organizer because they make such a beautiful advertisement. I'm not aware of it, I don't know what they say. So you have expectation, I will be joyful, bliss upon bliss, but turn out this Ajahn torture me. I need to walk for an hour, I need to sit for an hour, the knees are painful, so don't blame me. Look what the organizer is, Jenny or yogis. You can blame them. So this is what we're doing. So we have a session for question and answer for, let's say, until 5 p.m. You are welcome if you have a question. Best will be if there's no question.
There is one, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn, for the teaching. I want to know, when I do sitting meditation, a lot of time I contemplate on the 5 contemplation. So I want to know, can I also contemplate on the 5 contemplation when I do walking meditation?
What do you mean by 5 contemplation?
Contemplate on aging, sickness, death, parting from the loved ones, parting from everything that is pleasing, and the only thing you have is your karma. Okay. So I normally, when I do sitting, I would think of these 5 contemplation. But I'm not sure when I'm doing walking meditation, I can do the same thing.
Okay. Short answer, yes, you can do. Finish? Are you happy with the answer? or you want, people usually want to elaborate it. If I can or cannot, can. Yes or not, yes. So, like we discussed or I shared in the beginning, it's not about the position of the body. It's about retraining our mind, our heart. So whatever you can do while sitting, you can do it while walking. If you contemplate while sitting, then you can do it also contemplate while you're walking. Or while you're standing, waiting for you go to supermarket, you need to be on the line to pay the grocery, okay, you can do it. Or lie down. We have these 4 postures. Or you can use the 5th one, Bhante Ananda. Neither sit on it. You can. So, yes, you can. And if I wanted to suggest more, dig deeper, what do you mean by contemplation? Is it just thinking? Thinking. I'm thinking of aging. That is the initial step. In Thai we call picharana or yoniso manasikara. So we call it contemplation, but sometimes when we think the word of contemplation, we just think, oh, we're thinking about something. This is the initial one. Because, for example, oh, I'm contemplating of anicca and dukkha and anatta, so I'm thinking of anicca. That is the initial one. The contemplation which brings the result is when the thinking stops, then understanding arises. Even in the worldly problems, when you have problems, you think about it, you wanted to solve it, it's quite difficult. You need to get out first, sleep first, then you're fresh, then you have solution. Just for example, what is the example of contemplation? The first one is when the Buddha talked with the Panchavagya, the first 5 disciples. When they look at the Buddha directing them and ask them, what about your body? Is it permanent or not? Then they look here, not with eyes. This is just the word, right? Look. With the mind, with the thinking process stop, but still aware. But then they look the reality. That is contemplation, which bring understanding. So it's helpful in the beginning, especially we have tendency of thinking a lot of stuff. We have habit of thinking. Okay, then thinking about Dhamma, contemplate. Is it true I will die at some point? Well, maybe not. Only other people will die. For me, of course not. Maybe you come to that conclusion. That is the trigger to contemplate, start with thinking, because the mind like to think, okay, feed it. But there will be a moment it brings to the halt, the thinking process stop by itself. Then that's the time when the real contemplation happens, not by thinking. Or look at the example in history. Do you know who's invented the theory of gravitation? Newton, right? Sir Isaac Newton. What happened? He sit under a tree, apple fall. He been thinking of this problem, right? And he thinking. You can say he's contemplating of it. Thinking. The thinking process still active. He cannot find a solution. He need to be completely relaxed under a tree, but still aware. When the thinking process stops because we completely relax, then the apple fall. That's the time he figured it out, the result of contemplation. So it's not just thinking about something, not just thinking about that, thinking about the impermanence. It is the initial stage to trigger it. Then there will be time when the mind process just stop. Not because we stop it, it stops by itself. Then that theme will appear, then we understand. Because we've been thinking of anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? We're all Buddhists, we know all about it. But we still just stuck in the same place. So like that, even mundane problem like Newton, he need to be relaxed, but aware. Then you see the fact. Or other example, who is that? They invented the Pythagoras, Archimedes, just kind of on the bathtub, and he said, Eureka. He tried to figure out that theory, right? The Pythagoras, Archimedes, then he cannot. Only when he completely relaxed on the bathtub, you can try it. You go back home, just in the bathtub, completely relax and bring the contemplation of, oh, I will die at some point. Because it's more easy to accept it rather than, oh, I will die, then you stress out. That means the mind not yet calm down. But when it's a proper mindset, it becomes insight. Like Archimedes, completely relaxed, then he figured it out. Then he said, Eureka, I found it. And he go to the king, naked, right, running on the street. So even Dhamma like that, the 5 disciples, first time like that. And the mind calm, not because necessarily you close your eyes. Sometimes when you close your eyes, because you want it to become artificial. We need to recognize there is a moment in our thought that there is space, there is gap when nothing happens, and we're resting there but aware. That's why in Thailand sometimes we repeat Buddho. There is gap, but aware, Buddho. We are resting in that space. Then we start to recognize there is space within us, between the thought, then we're still aware. Then if the contemplation theme appear, we may get the aha moment there, like this Pancavaggiya. The Buddha, okay, look at your body. Is it permanent or not? With that state of no thought. We get familiar with that. Some people, like in the story of the Buddha, they are spiritual giant. One moment and it break everything. For us, we need to do it again and again and again because we are not spiritual giant. We just ordinary, most of us. Maybe some of you, I don't know, but myself need to do it again and again. Go back, contemplate again, just to trigger it, sitting down. And sometimes it's very useful for me in my own experience when I got nervous. Just like, for example, I don't have natural tendency to talk in the front of people like now. I actually avoid it. It always gives me nervousness. So one of the way I used to do like contemplate of death. It is for me. I don't suggest everybody. You can experiment. When I thought, oh, at some point I will die, it triggered the feeling, oh, it's impermanent. Then why bother being nervous? Because usually you feel nervous because you're afraid people will judge you or people will criticize you. Well, I will die, for example, this moment. I don't bother what people think about me. Then it just drop. It's a skillful means that sense of acceptance, whatever you have, oh, I will be dying. But it's quite different with sense of complete apathy. Oh, there is no hope in the world, something like that. But if that happens, then the mind not yet in the healthy state. You make it healthy. Healthy means make it happy first. That's why what we develop, samatha, vipassana, resting first. Like Newton, completely rest, then figure out the solution. Now what is our problem? This cycle, aging, sickness, death. If the mind in the proper state, in the middle, not rejecting, not flowing with the thing, complete acceptance, it may bring the aha moment. Our job is to bring the mind again and again to the middle. It's called walking in the middle path. When you experience something, you don't push it, you don't flow with it, you are in the middle. Then maybe you see, hey, I see my hair getting white. It maybe that's the aha moment, you don't know. But when you do it intentionally, still there is I behind it. I want to think about impermanent. It's not going to be the ultimate, but it's a trigger point. So yes, that is the long answer. The short answer again, yes, you can do.
Thank you, Ajahn. We have a second question here.
Hello, Ajahn. I would like to seek your advice about pain during meditation, like body pain.
Oh, body pain.
Yeah. So during my sit just now, I felt a stomach pain, like maybe 9/10. And then I had to, in my mind, I was deciding, should I go to the toilet or should I practice some patience, like kanti? Because I also understand that it's just a feeling and it will fade away at some point, but I was very pain. So for this sit, I chose patience, and eventually the pain did fade away to maybe about 2/10. So it did go away. But I'm thinking during our meditation, we have all kinds of bodily pain. Sometimes we have headache, sometimes it's stomach pain, sometimes back pain, leg pain. Our physical condition always change. I would like to seek Ajahn's advice. How do we decide when we are facing with pain, especially with intense pain? How do we decide? Do we practice patience in the moment, or should we follow our tendency to do something external which we know will relieve the pain? So like in my case, go to the toilet. Thank you.
Okay. When you eat, for example, when do you decide to stop? When you full, how do you know it? Well, I know it. Nobody can tell you, oh, now you are full. Well, actually you are the one who experience it. So a lot of this personal experience, including in meditation, external advice is just like a guidelines framework. There is not like, okay, until when you need to endure it. That there is always good that you push a little bit, because normally we always follow things we like. I'm hungry, I eat. Thirsty, I drink. So now we just like keep it extra resistant first. And how much you do that is only you know. If I said, okay, whenever You have a stomach pain, you want to go to toilet, you just need to be khanti, patient, force it. Then it becomes like ultimate advice, very rigid advice. Then when you do that, oh Ajahn say I just need to be patient and sitting there, then actually you are in diarrhea. Maybe you just will be do it there. Then oh Ajahn told me. So you need to actually know where is the boundaries. Always the best advice, push a little bit. Push a little bit does not mean so that sometimes we heard advice, if you just watch it, then will disappear. So then when we watch it, we experience it, there is agenda behind it. I will observe it in order to disappear. Then it's not pure anymore. So we resisted a bit just to give space for us to look, this is it feel of wanting. And the best way is not just when you sit meditation, because this is just the tip of iceberg. Most of the time we are not sitting in the meditation, there is many activity in the day. So prolong it a little bit. You are hungry, you wanted to eat, the food already in the table. Instead of straight away eat it, okay, stop for a while and look at that pulling. It's uncomfortable. You want it, but you say no. This is pain, right? The essence of pain is that you want something, but you don't get it. You get something which you don't like. That's what the standard formula, what is dukkha? Experience something which you don't like, and not experience something you like. So in this context, for example, oh, the knee is a pain. I actually want it not to be pain, right? So stretch it a bit. Don't follow the impulse. What it feels, it's pain. I want it not to be pain. And you just stay there. Give a chance a bit. That's why what we need, khanti. That is the time we're chipping, we're developing the wholesome quality of khanti. And how much you will stretch that, it's up to you to decide it. And you experiment. Oh, now I stretch it a bit, then you fulfill what you want, maybe stretching your arms, moving your legs. But then next time you stretch it again, like a rubber band. Then you will see when is actually the boundary. Maybe you force it too much, it breaks your knees. Then, oh, Ajahn say, I just need to be patient. Then you pain, you just, kanti, then break your knees. That is not the idea. So, how much you will stretch it is up to you. You need to experiment with it. But usually, my suggestion, try not only when you meditate. Anything you want something, stop for a while. That is what the idea of sila, right? There is mosquito, you want to kill it, right? Then that one thing, you don't follow. It's not that the Buddha said you should not kill. That is not the wording. The wording is I am training myself not to kill living being. Because what? You see that one thing. Because later on, this dana, sila, bhavana is connected with this Four Noble Truth. That one thing which makes us uncomfortable. We wanted to accumulate object. That one thing, I don't follow. I give it up. What you call that? Dana. There's mosquito, I want to kill. I don't follow that one thing. What you call that? Sila. Not like rules from outside. You wanted to see that pulling of one thing. When you meditate, you're thinking here, oh, the job tomorrow like this, oh, I'm planning to go to holiday in Paris. This is all one thing. But then, okay, I give it up. Until the last moment, what you're giving up? The sense of identity. It's all about putting down. But the language sometimes we heard, we attain Sotapanna, attain Sakadagami, attain Arahant, becoming something. That is the wording when we talk. Reality is about putting down. Just like last night you sleep, you're putting down everything. but you are not aware. Now we're putting down while aware. So that wanting to move, for example, pain, put it down first, not follow it straight away. How much? You need to know it. In the daily life, you wanted to eat ice cream, for example. Okay, stop for a while and look at that, rather than, oh, I should not ice cream. Or you have a habit of smoking, for example. You cannot control it. Okay, instead of, oh, I want to smoke, then straight away you get the cigarette, lighting it. Very automatic. It becomes slave of that tendency. Okay, stop for a while. Don't do it. Not because you force yourself, but to see that pulling of wanting. Oh, I want to eat ice cream. Okay, stop for a while. Then maybe you decided, I will not eat today. But not from the will force, from understanding. You look at this pulling of wanting. How many wanting you have already since you are born? How many times you fulfill them? They keep coming back. So the time is to learn, what is that? There is sometimes one Ajahn told me he really liked chocolate in the afternoon. So when he wanted to have 3, okay, he will have 2. So there is still sense of not satisfied. That is the pulling of wanting. Or he give up to his friend. Or sometimes I saw he will just hold it and he touch it, the chocolate, and feel that, this is it, like, then eventually disappear, just like anything. Did you been angry in your life? Same with me. But are you angry all the time? At some point they will go down. But usually we fulfill it, we flow along with it. Or we fight it because we are good Buddhists, right? Oh, I'm good Buddhist, I should not get angry, I should not get angry. May all beings be happy, metta, metta. You already go to the river of anger. Or the other one, you flow with it. You go to the guy and punch the face. Why not just go up to the bank, sitting here at the bank, and watch that river of anger? That is when we are in the middle, not pushing it, not flow with it. That is what they call middle path. Recognize it, get familiar with it, and walk. So when we want something, stop for a while. Don't fulfill it immediately. Even wanted to eat. What is wrong with it? I have money, I buy it. Yes, of course. But we wanted to train ourselves. See that not because you don't eat, but the Buddha proved already he don't eat until he almost die. But that pulling, look at this pulling of wanting. So you need to find it by yourself. When you should go to toilet, don't ask me, Ajahn, should I go to toilet now? I don't know. You are the one who experiences stomach pain. I hope that helped.
Shall we take maybe one last question to round up? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, personally, meditation for me is to find inner peace. So I'm curious for you, how do you define inner peace? Because, like different people have different opinions, probably like self-acceptance or like let wanting goes or like things or people do not impact you anymore. So I want to know, how do you know you find inner peace?
How you define inner peace? Now I want to ask, how are you going to define this one? This is a material object, right? You can define it by, it is something long from wood, have a carved something material. How you define this? You can objectify it. It's a material thing. Inner peace, is it something material? Are you sure? It's not material object, right? How about anger? Is it material object? No. How about feeling of happiness? Is it material object? No. Feeling of love, like a mother loves her only child. It's not material. How you define it? Inner peace, how you define it? This is the problem when we actually using words, because it's very limited. This is the medium we have as a human being. If I eat a sugar and people ask me, Ajahn, what it tastes? I will say, sweet. If I take some honey, people ask me, I say, sweet. Ice cream, sweet. But that actual experience are different. Right? This is just before I go to what is inner peace. So whatever I describe it, it is not. I describe this one. Like I said, I think earlier, whatever you describe is not that itself, because that is description. So whatever Dhamma also like that is a description of something. So the Buddha didn't describe, for example, Nibbana, the ultimate peace. He didn't describe it, what it feels, because the word cannot describe. What he described, the path. When there is no wanting, what it feels. Then the Buddha said that is Nibbana. When you really want to have some object, you really want to have an iPhone, for example, what object do you really want in your life? For example, in the past, bicycle maybe, when we're still small kid, right? We really want bicycle. Then our parents gave us one. I remember my first bicycle. What do you feel? We said happy, for example. Anything we get from the sense object, then it fulfills, we can say actually happiness. But when we talk about happiness here, something different. This is the limitation of word. I rather use peace or at ease. And that is happen when that one thing not exists. Then that is what I could say peace. How it feel, Ajahn? I cannot describe it. You need to feel by yourself when you completely know one thing. What did that feel? And if you're looking for it, if you're searching for it, that means you are wanting of it. And the more you look, the more you search, the more you want, the farther you are. Because the more you are not content, I want something, I want something. What is that? Peace. So the Buddha gave the methodology. He said, drop the wanting. Complete acceptance. That is the third noble truth. That is, you can say peace, you can say Nibbana, whatever you want to call it. How to describe it? Even the Buddha didn't describe. He only described Nibbana, the ultimate peace, is when the ending of wanting. So that is the only description I can have. What is inner peace? The ending of wanting. Sense of content. How to get it? You cannot get it because you need to drop, not to get something. If you get something, it's something it can come and go, something external. You may experience some pleasure in your life for whatever reason because your wanting fulfilled, like I described earlier. But it is not because from the object, but it is at that moment inside ourselves there is no wanting. That's why we feel at ease. So recognize that moment in our life, time to time, when you're completely at ease, there's no wanting. If you said, oh, I never experienced that, wow, that will be very far from peace then, because you always want something, you never feel content. Try to recognize first our life. If you say, oh, Ajahn, I never feel happy, at ease. Okay, try to see ourselves. The sutta we chant in the beginning, it said that wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be happy. In some translation is, may all beings be at ease. We wish it from place of safety. Are we safe now? Relatively, yes. If you see the news in Ukraine, in Palestine, for example, the drones can fall down at our head anytime. we forget to count our blessing. That's why we feel, oh, I'm not in peace, I'm looking for something more, which we don't even know what is that. The Buddha said, look at the source, why you want, then drop that. An easy way, sometimes, just count our blessing. In this country, is completely prosperous country, compared to many places in the world. Do we ever say, oh, thank you? How many times usually you eat a day? 3, 5, 7? So, did you ever actually feel, oh, I'm grateful I can eat? Many places in the world they cannot eat. In Palestine, the children, they don't have food. But we took it for granted. Instead, we wanting something more. We are not satisfied, not content. It is quite a disease in this present time, always wanting more. Then people have difficulty to find joy, to find ease. Instead of looking, I want to get more, recognize first, what is the blessing in my life? Do you have a shelter on top of your head after you return from here, or you're living on the street? Just count it first. Count it first. Like that's the best way. Count any blessing in your life. If you wanted to feel that your life a blessing, if you wanted to be happy, wish first that other being be happy. Because this is the tendency. I wanted to peace, I wanted to be happy. It's all about I, and that is the problem. Only think about I. Even it's so noble, I wanted to be peace. First do something that make other people at ease. Or wishing it. Wish all beings be at ease. The more we focus on our problem, oh, I'm not peaceful, I wanted to be peace, the more you far from peace. So, before I was a Buddhist monk, I was ordained as a Hindu monk called Swami. This is my third religion. And during Swamihood, as I was Hindu monk, one of the advice from some of my teachers is, when you sit and meditate and you not feel happy, you not feel peace, you go out, open your eyes and try to help others first. Why? Because that comes from sense of I. I wanted to be, I wanted to be peace. You cannot, because that I. Okay, chip it. Helping others. What is that in Buddhist context? Dana. Try to do more dana first, and pure, not because I do this, so I get that. If they say, if I do dana, I will be peaceful, then you still want something. Just pure giving. What happened? Did you ever give something pure? Maybe to your partners, your children, or this morning some people come offer dana to the monk, and I asked them, and I observe none of them crying when they give, none of them sad. They say, I'm happy when they give. Why? That time you don't think about yourself, you think of others. It's not difficult to find it, this inner peace. Okay, do something to others. But then you look at it, what it feels. Why you feel at ease? Because the sense of I disappears at that moment. Just like last night when you sleep, the I completely disappear, but you're not aware. That's why we come every night to look forward to experience deep sleep again. Now we do it, we're still aware. The Buddha make the path, the form, okay, start with giving. You think of others. It's more likely you give something to the monk because you're Buddhist. But hopefully during that letting go, thinking of others, not of yourself, you notice it feel like this. Then hopefully you start to do it to others also. As an opportunity, you lost yourself. The sense of I. When there's no I, there's no problem. It's not my problem. Because the I dissolves, like last night when you sleep. Do you ever fall in love? Some of you married already, of course, before you fall in love. What it feel? You're like in heaven, in sky. Why? Because you only think about him or her. You are disappeared. Oh, what happened with him? What happened with her? You wake up, you think of him. You wake up, think of her. Before eating, is she eat already? always think about, you lost at that time. But once you get married, gone, right? Only think about me. Then you decided to do it again. Oh, he cannot spark the fire anymore. Then you find another one. But if you see, that is the time because you are disappear. So try to disappear that sense of I have the problem. What? I'm not peaceful. Okay, the path is start with dana, giving up. That moment you lost yourself. Then you try to do sila. I don't follow this I. Then you try sitting meditation. Not because I want peace, but you drop things. Then the peace will appear by itself. Why? Because the wanting drop. So how I define it with words? I cannot define with words what is peace. I can only say it when the wanting drop. You tried it. That is what we try to do. When we sit, we completely accept the breath. What it feel when there's no wanting. When we walk, we just feel left, right. What it feel when the wanting drop while walking. So that is the only thing in my opinion. And of course, I was come to this kind of life because also start with wanting something else, not satisfied with what is available in the world. They say happiness will be there when you have a lot of money, when you have all this stuff, then society say you are happy. So I felt there must be something else. So then it ended up like this, which is I found it satisfying. So I didn't say that you should be like this, but the inner world you need to drop time to time, just 1 minute, 2 minutes a day, sit on the sofa, completely give up, but aware. If you completely give up, not aware, sleep. That is peace. In my opinion, you are welcome to disagree or not believe, even better, but then try it to prove, is it true? Rather, no, I don't believe it. Then you try it. I don't believe it, mean, okay, let me check. Is it true or not? That's it. What is next? The organizer?
Next is the dedication of merits.
So there is another quality, another way to developing a good karma or merit, not just by giving or doing something good, but by happy because other people doing good. We call it mudita. Yeah. So the schedule said is a dedication of merits and blessing. Now we need to know what is actually merit. You want to dedicate something. Usually we just recite a word. In some places there is a formula for it. They use like eta, vata, or in Sri Lanka a bit different, in Myanmar a bit different. Then we say it's dedication of merits. What we wanted to dedicate is our merit. Now we need to know what is merit. A wholesome quality. When we do something, either it's good or bad, we have the result of it. When we do something good, then we say we got merit. And the other way around, if we do something bad, we say demerit. That quality inside us, when we give, we start to chip the sense of I. Then what is arise? The sense of at ease. That is what we call one of the good qualities. But then we say merit. And this is what we wanted to share. So for example, I wanted to share it to my relatives. Usually it's very common in Buddhist circle. I wanted to share it my merit to my brother or my father or my deceased, my late grandma. What do you mean by that? Oh yeah, I give something and I just say the word. When you give something, but sometimes people have a different intention. Maybe they wanted to show it in Instagram or TikTok, so they take picture, give to the Ajahn. Oh, I only give to Ajahn Visalo. But the intention there is not giving, to show, want to show it. It's not merit. It's not about physical action. So there is internal thing. The sense of wholesomeness develop because we start to chip our defilements. We start with dana. When we intend to keep sila, intend to train ourselves, it's also merit from sila. Then when we train ourselves not to just follow our thought, just stay in one object, we train ourselves not to follow all that tendency, we say merit from concentration, until when we drop everything, we say the ultimate merit. So now you perform a merit of dana. But for the last several hours, you train yourself. That is merit. Even though maybe you feel, like a torture, that is a merit because then you conditioning yourself not to just follow what you want. And this is all the qualities which we wanted to share other beings. So for example, you give something, you feel happy, you feel at ease. From that position of at ease, peace, then you think of your relative, then you share it there. If you're angry, then you think of your relatives, then what you share? That anger. You think of them from that anger. And sometimes in the room, that kind of merit or demerit is just automatic, spread around. You angry, you back to your home, then whoever you meet, it share. So this is the idea. When the monk give the blessing, we share merit to all beings. From that position of wholesomeness, you think of your relatives. Some of them, they cannot come here, they cannot train themselves, they cannot train their mind. Share it with them. This is the wholesome quality which develop, I wanted to share with them, including maybe my father, mother who passed away already. That is what we do when the monk gives the chanting or called blessing. It's not me giving you the blessing. It is the wording as in Pali. But it's like you make the good karma, you create the blessing, you create the merit, and that's what you want to share. So let's share our merit, whatever goodness we've been developing these several hours. Rejoice with it. Recognize it, that we intend to train ourselves. We give something, we feel at ease. From that sense of at ease, we wish that our relatives also can feel it, that our relatives can experience it, those who are still around and those who passed away, including all the citizens in this country, may they be also receiving this merit. Yata varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang evamewa ito dinang petanang upakapati citang patitang tumhang kipame Vasamicatu sabbe purentu sangkappa Cando panaraso yata manijotiraso yata Sapitiyo vivacantu sabbarogo vinasatu Mate bhavadvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava Abhivadana silisa niccang Buddha pacayino Cattaro Dhamma vadanti ayumanno sukhang Balang bhavatu sabba manggalang rakantu sabba dewata Sabba Buddha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba manggalang rakantu sabba dewata Sabba dhamma nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba manggalang rakantu sabba dewata Sabba sangha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te